Hey everyone, this is Devin, aka Leonard Meltzner,
And this is Victoria.
and you're watching the Adventures in Odyssey.
Adventures in Odyssey Oddcast.
Yeah, you can't really sync it up over Skype.
Yeah.
That's okay, it's the thought that counts.
Mm-hmm.
So, welcome back. This episode is hopefully uploaded not too long after episode 7. It's been kind of a Oddcast-filled day for me and the last day, putting together episode 6 and 7 really quickly, and now we're already filming episode 8 right now. Hopefully you enjoyed the craziness that went on in the last episode as I played all 14 odd parts in Sky Weldon.
I did.
That's good.
My favorite line is still he's a little rough on my larynx.
Randy's a little rough on my larynx, yeah. Came out really weird when I said that.
Yeah, I know.
So we don't have a whole lot of announcements for you today, and we don't have a whole lot of time, and so we're going to jump right into the recording. As you should know, we are reviewing episodes 729 and 730, No Chemistry Whatsoever, and The Friend Formula. So, let's delve right into it. No chemistry whatsoever.
So, initial impressions, I guess?
Yes. What are some things that you thought right off the bat, Victoria? I should mention that this time, Victoria and I have not said a word to each other about these episodes, other than the fact that Victoria really liked them. So, this is off the cuff,
I like
on the
one
cuff
more
right
than
here.
the other. You can probably guess which one I liked more than the other one.
I think I can guess.
Yeah.
All right, Victoria, no chemistry whatsoever. What were the first couple thoughts that you had?
During the episode, my first one I had was, why are Connie and Penny going back to Campbell Community College?
Well, they're not really going back. I mean, they're still going to college.
Yeah, but why are they doing, like, chemistry classes there? I thought they were done with the college.
No, they're not. That was the first thing right at the beginning. I was excited. I'm like, they're back at college. There's character development going on. Fundamentals of Chemistry is a good first-year class to take. I enjoyed it very much. 7:30 in the morning class. Ew, 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 no. Yuck. That is... 7:30 in the morning classes. That's not...
So what was your first thought?
That was my first thought. Those two. I was glad for
Okay.
character development, but 7:30 in the morning class is a big no-no. Bad Dr. Sharp.
Okay. So another thought I had was, I was surprised that Connie was worried about doing bad in the class, because she did great in her class, in her classes at high school.
Yeah.
Which Whit even said later in the episode.
Yeah,
so
she
I'm
was
like,
valedictorian.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I liked
how they mentioned that in the episode too.
there was so much continuity stuff in here, and I'll get to that later.
I'm so happy.
Oh, I know. A couple things right near the beginning. The line, chem's not so bad if you had a good teacher. I was like, yes, because I had an awesome teacher for chem last year, and she was my favorite teacher of the year, and it just made things go so well. It was wonderful. So, yes, teachers make a class. Yes.
I'm doing chem here. I just started this year. I have a great teacher too.
How was your first day of school today, Victoria?
It was good.
That's good.
It felt long.
Mine was good too. It was different. I had burritos for lunch for free. It was cool.
So what are your other thoughts? I'm caught up to the first scene with Barrett and Olivia now. So.
Okay, one more, and I quote, Eugene teaching, ha, 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 ah, ha, 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 ha.
Is that a quote from the episode?
No, that's what I wrote. And I typed the A's and the H's in like very...
I did that.
Very sharp staccato.
Either on this episode or in the next one in my notes. I went like that on my keyboard. But yeah.
I was like, ha, 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 ah, ha, 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 ha.
Okay, I did not type like that. But
Yeah.
yes.
Well, I couldn't do that because I was laying on my side while I was typing. But anyways, to get up to the scene with Barrett and Olivia, Waterworld passes as a prize. Continuity, the first...
I never even thought about the continuity of Waterworld.
The first continuity thing. It's been a long time since we've had passes for Waterworld being used as a prize for something. The last time that pops off the top of my head was the Case of the Candid Camera with
Where did
Rodney.
they go with Grady?
They went to Trickle Creek.
Okay. I didn't think they went to Waterworld. I couldn't remember where they went with him.
Wait. No. Trickle Creek is where...
This is gonna take a while.
No, Trickle Creek is where the horses were in Connie Goes to Camp Part 2. It was Trickle River that they went tubing, and
Okay.
Only by His Grace.
So carry on, Devin.
That's all I had for that scene, so you can say what you had.
Okay. I thought that Barrett would at least try to memorize some verses. Like, he'd at least put some effort into it before deciding not to do it at all. Like, even if you're lazy, you probably would. And Barrett isn't a lazy person.
Yeah.
So that surprised me. And yeah, I'm caught up to the next scene now.
Okay, mentioning Connie as valedictorian all aboard the Continuity Express. That was like the second thing already. Yes, chugga chugga around Continuity Mountain.
Yay.
That was the second thing in this episode already, so I was very happy there. I was really hoping for the periodic table song when Penny went to sing, and it wasn't. And that made me sad.
That's probably copywritten.
Yeah, that's what I figured, but it would have been really nice. At first, just for a split second, it sounded like that's where she was going when she said beryllium, but I don't think that's even the first element in the song.
I put, and I quote, "Don't let Penny sing anymore."
No, that was...
It hurt my brain when she sang. Not to be mean,
yeah.
but it did.
Let's see, what else? Hair dye with an activator could have actually been a really good chemistry demo. Like, that early in a fundamental of chemistry class, doing an experiment and explaining like a redox reaction interacting with proteins in your hair would have been a really good project. And apparently Penny understood it, so Connie could have actually done really well with that. But
okay, I'll go first because I'm still in the valedictorian scene.
Oh, okay.
So I wrote a lot for this one because I wanted to make up for the fact that I barely wrote anything for the last review. So something that confused me, why wouldn't Penny help Connie if Connie was doing poorly in class and Penny was doing really good?
Because Connie was purposefully doing poorly. I mean, not like consciously purposefully, but
Yeah.
She would have if she really wanted to do well, like really did, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Okay, you have to put something in to get something out. I like that quote.
Yes.
First time I heard that, I'm just like, that is a good quote.
It's like what
Makes me feel motivated.
It's like what Whit has said multiple times in the past. Hold up, for example, talking about you get out of Whit's End what you put into it. Put in fear and suspicion like Hank Murray, and that's what you get out of it. Put in amazement and wonder, etc., etc.
One more thing. I thought that Connie would at least try to study hard in the first place if she knew that Eugene was going to be her teacher.
Yeah.
But she didn't even study. That kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
Like, you'd think she'd at least try, but no, I guess not.
Guess not.
So when Barrett was talking about the shortest Bible verses, first thing that popped into my mind was like, Jesus wept. He's going to say it. He's going to say it. And he said like one verse, and it wasn't that. He said another one, and it wasn't that.
Yeah.
So I was just like...
I know it was the third one that he said. I was like...
It was the third one.
I was waiting for it, and then it came. On the third day, the verse rose again.
Oh, one thing that I was proud of myself, I got Eugene's chemistry joke.
Ah, that's good.
The proton one. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, on this,
I'm caught up where you are.
Also on the subject of hair dyeing her hair chestnut brown sounded a little too close for comfort to raspberry chestnut.
Yeah,
Just saying.
I was thinking that. But what is her hair like chestnut brown on like generally? So
yeah,
once I heard that, I was just like, oh my gosh, is she even a real brunette? What color is her hair actually?
She's actually has like pink hair naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
She's a ginger.
That's what I think. She has like same color hair as Eugene, so she dyes it because she doesn't want anyone to know.
Yeah.
So, but if Connie spent as much time trying to get out of work as she did doing work, she'd be doing great in Eugene's class.
Yes. It's funny because, the theme of this episode with the importance of putting work into it almost sounded kind of like Dale's speech at the end of Good Business, except this episode didn't have any hints toward communism.
So would you like to say anything?
I liked the way Eugene said amiable rivalry. I liked that. That's a good way of putting their relationship.
I don't know what that means.
Like they're rivals, but like in a friendly way.
Oh, okay. Like me and you sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. Like amiable, it's same root as ME. And
French.
M.
So I'm caught up to part with Olivia and Barrett. So
they brought up license to drive.
Yeah,
which
I
knew they would. I really hoped they would, and that's like the third thing. And I was like, the HMS Continuity has successfully sailed around the world. I read really weird notes.
One of my favorite continuity episodes so far since the hiatus. It's probably the one most filled with continuity.
Yes. I really...
carry on.
Oh, no, you can go next. I'm up to that scene.
Okay. I like how Olivia actually kind of stumbled with one of her verses, because once I heard, like, she did it with the second verse she said. When she went through the first one, I was thinking, oh my gosh, are all of the verses she memorized this long? I would not be able to do that. I'd just fumble it up. So then once she actually did mess her lines up a little bit, I was just like, that makes me feel better.
Yeah, it shows that the kids in Odyssey are actually semi-human. Shows like that so often. It's like the kids are like, I know every verse in the Bible and where it's found by heart. It's a little more realistic. It's nice.
It's like the cliche realism stuff or whatever.
Yeah, except it had not really anything to do with the moral, but good connection.
Yeah. Also, once Olivia was hinting at the verse she learned for Barrett, I was really hoping we'd get to hear it before we heard the segue music. I was just like, because she's doing that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear what it is. And it's like, I'm like, no, go back, go back. It's just like the labyrinth all over again. I want to find out what's going to happen. But no, they just skip to one of the final scenes, just like in the labyrinth.
Which specific part in the labyrinth are you talking about?
The ending, when they're holding the guns.
Oh, that.
Yes, that's how I felt, but it wasn't as bad.
Yeah, I hope not. That's slightly more suspenseful.
Yeah.
When Whit said those verses are in the Bible for a reason, I was like, yes. Even the short ones, he said.
I did that too.
Well, I didn't actually go like this when he said that, but yeah.
I didn't either, but I was thinking, yay.
Yeah, even the short ones. I was like, yes, people are like, some people paint the whole Old Testament like that, but so often things like, Numbers and Chronicles and stuff like that, and people, genealogies, and people are like, blah, 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 it's so boring, and Leviticus and all that stuff, and while it may be boring, it is still there for a reason. If there wasn't a spiritual thing to be gleaned from it, God wouldn't have put it in the Bible.
So, I was like, my notes are in a really weird order.
Was that everything that you had for this episode?
I have a couple more things. I'm happy that Barrett tried to give back his ticket, that he decided he shouldn't be able to go.
Yes. He learned his lesson.
I didn't really think he had a right to go.
Judgmental Victoria.
Yeah. Versus impatience, that made me laugh with the thing with Olivia. Because I'm just like, my first thought was, if I was with her, I would need that too. I'm a horrible person.
She can be a little high-strung sometimes.
A little bit. I don't mind her that much, but
She's getting
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Eugene's ringtone.
Oh my gosh, I died at that part. I was just like, oh my gosh. First time I heard it, it was late, and I tried not to burst out laughing. It was when we were at Michelle's house. And I tried so hard not to burst out laughing, but I like covered my mouth and
I was tempted to go back, like once we get the episode, to like go in when she said it the first time and like clip it out and use it as my ringtone, but I think for my ringtone I'll probably just use like the theme from 2005 or something like that. By the way, we both have phones now. Well, Victoria doesn't. I mean, my parents and Victoria do, and I have one. And my text tone is the Aram sound.
He's very proud of it.
Yeah, actually, here, Victoria, send something on iMessages, and I'll.
No, Devin.
No, my
Devin,
phone's right here. Just open up iMessages and send something to me. Do it right now.
Fine.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, did you hear that? That's wonderful. Okay, last thing, at the very end, almost missed it. Chris's wrap up, and she said that the
wait, I have a couple more things.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I didn't think that Connie would have such an issue with Eugene being her teacher, considering for pretty much ever since he came to Odyssey and she came to Odyssey in her last couple years of high school, he was pretty much tutoring her.
Yeah, I thought that was really
that whole time, so
weird.
That confused me.
Because, I mean, he's, Eugene being in a position of authority over Connie is something that's happened all the time over the years.
Especially at Whit's End, like him, he always looks
being in
after
charge
it instead of Connie.
Yeah.
So.
The one about trust and all that.
Yeah. So, yeah, my next thing is Chris's chem wrap-up. Yeah.
She's like, the entire cast was made of chinops, except she said calcium instead of sulfur. But still, I was like, that is so funny. That was the best wrap-up Chris has done since I don't know when. I laughed so hard at that.
I didn't actually think she was going to say the actors' names. I thought she was just going to keep on quoting things. And I was thinking, oh boy, we're going to be here for a while.
Because by that point, I was kind of semi-listening while she was wrapping up like the end of the credits. And she's like, today's cast was made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, calcium, and oxygen. I already said oxygen. Yeah, I was like, ah. That made me very happy.
I kind of wish that I could have been there to see your reaction in person. Just that.
Yeah, well, I did that now, but
yeah,
that was the inside. That was inner Devin was doing that.
So, rating. Oh, good to hear it again.
Yes. I didn't acknowledge the first text that you sent me, and so it did it again. There we go.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Okay.
I sent him hi, for those of you who are wondering.
Episode rating. Victoria, what would you give it?
I don't know. I liked it the first time I listened to it, but the second time I was just like a little less attentive. I think that's because I was super bored for the whole day today. So I'd say about 3.5 out of 5. But I thought it was good. I thought it delivered its message good about working hard. Yeah. What about you?
I think that the episode was really good. It had good humor. It had good continuity. The lesson we had, the message of, the importance of hard work, which is something we haven't had for a really long time. Good business is the first one that comes to mind. There are also, other sub-lessons in there, mostly with the Barrett and Olivia-ness, and about, the importance of memorizing scripture and the importance of scripture and its context and why we memorize scripture. So tying those two together, I really liked. So I don't know if it's good enough for a 4.5, but I'll say 4.25. 4.25.
Okay. So next episode, the friend formula.
Yes.
First off, this is my first note. Another J episode.
Yeah, and you probably did actually physically do that,
When I typed it,
just in general.
I was like smashing my keyboard, then all of a sudden the thing I was typing on disappeared, and then I thought I deleted it. So then I went back, and fortunately I didn't.
That's
So,
good.
yeah. Took me a minute to find it though.
All right. I probably have the first note for this episode, which is that I think this is the first time that Andre has done the intro as Whit for the theme. He might have done it before, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time. That
Oh,
stuck
I
out to
never
me.
noticed that.
It stuck out to me because it sounded new, like I hadn't heard it before. His voice was extremely perky. He might have done it before, but I don't. Maybe.
I'm not sure. I want to say he has, but I'm not sure.
I know. Now when I think about it, I think that he has. But when
Yeah.
it sounded really novel. Careful, the mic is right there. When you scratch.
Oh.
Yeah, it sounded really novel to my ears when I heard it. So my instinct is to say no. But moving on from that, Victoria, what are your first couple notes?
Another mention of Jay's Supper Time Triangle and his Elvis collection. There's some continuity there. I like that.
Some continuity, which is surprising because we're talking about the eclectiveness of Jay Smouse.
Yes.
There's actually some order.
Yeah, from the Elvis collection thing first mentioned in Becoming Jay, and the Supper Time Triangle first mentioned in
The winning, Poor Loser.
Yep.
No, not Poor Loser.
What?
Sorry, it's the title. It's like that, but the Amazing
Loser.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is very close to Poor Loser.
I have a question. I think you'll be able to answer it that I wrote down.
Yes.
Was Riley voiced by the same VA as Everett?
That's what I thought. And Kyle. I first heard him, and I thought Kyle from Darian's Rise. And and I thought by extension that's also Everett and Young Eugene. I don't believe so, actually, because I read the thread on the TOO, and I'll just double check here. And they said his name, and I don't recognize his name, so I don't think it is, but I will double check just to be sure. What are some other things that you had while I look it up?
Was Jay trying to sound classy or something in this episode, or like an old detective? Because for the first half of the episode, he's just like, Riley, my boy, and stuff, and I'm just like, what happened to the Jay I know and love? What did you do to him? Whit, what have you done? Not Whit from Odyssey, Whit the person.
Nope, this is the first episode that Riley's been in, but yes, that was my first thought. I was like, he sounds like Kyle / Everett / Young Eugene.
I'm just gonna pretend he is Everett, because I really like Everett.
Yeah. Okay. Some things I had here. Careful with your hair, Victoria.
Yeah.
Whit took an IOU from Jay. I thought that was kind of weird. I mean, I said it's a good thing that Whit owns UPF because I don't think that anyone has ever paid more than $1 for anything on the menu at Whit's End. And even then, that's a very select group because people barely ever pay for anything there.
Yeah, he always gets some free stuff.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's a good thing Whit is like a multi-millionaire. And that Whit's End comes out of his like pocket change.
Yeah, and apparently in Recollections, he doesn't actually get any money from running Whit's End.
Well, how could he? I mean, he gives everything away.
Good point. Anyway, so
and apparently he pays Connie and Eugene like inordinate amounts of money.
Yes. I'm pretty sure he has like a never-ending supply of cash.
Yeah. Or the fact that he has like his fingers in a whole bunch of like huge multilateral corporational pies.
When Riley said he collects Japanese comic books, I raged really quickly because I'm like, that's not the proper name. They're called mangas.
Or mangas.
Or mangas. That's how you like to pronounce it.
Yeah.
Did you think that?
Yeah, okay. So to get a couple things here, 2 Barrett and Olivia episodes in a row I thought was interesting because we haven't really seen them together as friends before, and that's 2 episodes in a row now with them like that. I mean, not romantic or anything, but just as friends. You know, usually it's Barrett and Priscilla and Barrett and Jay and Barrett and Emily. So I thought that was interesting.
Something that surprised me. Priscilla's mentioned a couple times in this episode,
but
and
she
by a
never
couple
appeared.
I mean one. But yeah, she didn't actually appear. I thought it was going to be Riley has one of the eyeings with Barrett, one with Olivia, which did happen, and then the last one was going to be with Priscilla, but
Except there's 4 Iings, but he didn't do the last one, so.
yeah, he didn't do the first one. He just did 2 and 3, and he didn't do the last one.
Well, he did the
Jay did
first
the
one.
first one.
Well, no, he spied in the bush while Jay did
Oh yeah.
was the catalyst to the recon. Other thing, I said, as a band geek, I really appreciate all the concert band love that we've been getting lately on Odyssey.
Me too.
Lots of concert band stuff, which is exciting. And then suddenly Dulcimer Kid comes in, and I was like, I love this. This is awesome.
I was just like, I know what a dulcimer is.
How could
I
he not
learned
have
from the
friends? He
Weekenders.
carries a dulcimer around with him.
Yeah.
And I said he sounds like Kyle from Darian's Rise.
Like, I love my instruments I play, like my flute and my guitar and the keyboard, but I wouldn't carry them around with me everywhere I go. I don't know why he carries a dulcimer. That
Yeah,
is
it's a pretty big
honestly
instrument,
kind of
isn't it? I mean, not like really big, but it's a decent size. It's not like carrying a flute around.
yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, so I put if someone is constantly being mean, taking your possessions and telling you to be mean to other people, why in goodness is name, why would you take their advice?
Because Jay is very charismatic.
I'd listen to Jay, maybe.
Oh,
Not.
a couple other things to catch up. Let's see, reading off my list here. Riley's name, also, when I first saw the description, because I guess I hadn't seen that version of the description until I went to the AIO Wiki media player, and it said Riley's new kid in town, and I immediately read it in Bart's voice, because I was thinking Riley like Tom Riley. So his name makes me think that he's actually incognito time-traveling young Tom without an accent who plays the dulcimer. New headcanon.
Sure. Anything else?
When he's like, I collect lava lamps and manga and Elvis, I'm like, this kid is awesome.
Why does no one want to be his friend?
I know.
I would be his friend.
That's so cool.
I would read mangas with him.
Yeah. And he lives near McAllister Park. I thought that was funny. I'm like, is there anyone in Odyssey who does not live by McAllister Park? Because
The Washingtons.
They do live by McAllister Park, Victoria.
No, they moved.
Victoria, they live next to the Rathbones, correct?
Oh, yeah.
And the Rathbones live next to the Electric Palace, and the Electric Palace is on the edge of McAllister Park.
Never mind. I was thinking about the fact that they. Never mind. I was thinking about something else.
Or sorry, I shouldn't. If we're not going to make assumptions, sorry, I should say the Washingtons live next to the Rathbones, and the Rathbones lives next to the Strasburgs, and the Strasburgs are on the edge of McAllister Park. So yeah, I was like, is there what I write? Is there anyone in Odyssey who doesn't live near McAllister Park? I guess he's neighbors with Wits End, the Electric Palace, the Strasburgs, the Carpers, the Waltons, the Washingtons, and the Rathbones. I mean, I know it's big, but it's like everybody. I'm starting to think Odyssey. It's like here's Odyssey. And here's McAllister Park. So it's like the park, and then there's just like a ring of houses that go around it. And that's Odyssey. And then there's Trickle Lake over here.
Also, Eyebrow Guy and his brother from Groundhog J live in McAllister Park.
Yeah, not in. They live in a bush in McAllister Park. No, they also live on the edge. Also, new things in today's episode, Jay jumped into a bush. And I was like, Jay and bushes, I ship it.
I put post-hiatus kids really like to hide in bushes because there's Emily and she made Matthew hide in a bush, and then Jay and Priscilla and now Riley.
Yeah, so. I decided that I ship Jay and bushes.
Okay then, have fun with that.
Thank you.
I think there was some
fanfics ahoy
in this episode.
Fanfics ahoy.
I think I heard some new music in this episode.
Yes, there was new music. Actually, it's a different composer I noticed at the end. It's not John Campbell, this one.
Oh.
That would explain it.
So, I put something, but it has to be at the end. And I put it kind of near the front. Okay, J is way, and I put 8 A's in that, so way too over-prepared.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's J.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he thinks that everyone's out to get him in life.
Yeah.
which
That
is
is,
kind of half true.
well, he is extremely paranoid.
Indeed. So, anything you'd like to say?
Is that everything that you had?
No.
Oh, okay. I do have some more things. The kids with things in their noses count for this season has already risen to 2 now.
What was the thing today?
He had a branch up his nose in the bush, Riley did.
Oh, why are you counting that? That's a weird list.
Because now there's 2.
That's strange.
It is. But we're only on the 4th episode, and that's 3 episodes if you count the 2-parter together, and that's already 2 kids with things lodged up their nasal passages.
Anything else?
Protege. That made me laugh.
Oh, yes. I love Jay. He's so awesome. I love how he comes up with weird little words that don't make sense, but they're punny and
yeah,
they always
protege. I was like, ah. I put a little smiley D face, like colon capital D.
I think I did that at one point in this episode or the last one. I don't know. I felt bad for Riley for like the whole episode, even though I thought he was doing bad things.
Yeah.
At the time, like when he was crying or angry tears or whatever he was doing with Barrett.
Onion juice in his eyes. Ow, Jay.
Yeah, I know. And okay, I wrote a note about that later. I'll talk about it later. So I put Barrett is so sweet. He's such a good friend because he's just like, oh, he's sad. Instead of buying this game, I'm gonna go get him ice cream.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just like, oh.
you know what I just realized when you said that though? You think, oh, he's so sweet. He can't buy the game because he went and got a soda for Riley.
Yeah, I know. He's
but
still gonna be able to buy the game
because
the game costs like $1.
No, he'd still be able to buy it because he took him to Whit's End to buy a soda, and Whit never makes you pay for things, so he didn't really lose any money. Especially if a kid's crying, Whit's never going to make him pay for that.
Yeah,
even if he did make him pay,
anyway.
2 sodas is like 12 cents at Whit's End. So.
It was in episode 1.
And it basically still is. Whit has changed his prices since the 80s less than Costco has.
Okay, so it took me a while to realize Jay's ulterior motive throughout this episode, which is weird because I usually figure out what it is right away.
Well, I thought it was just for the Elvis album. So,
yeah. I thought it was. Well, it was, but he had 2 in the episode.
He's sneaky like that, Jay.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, whoa, you have 2, you're only supposed to have 1. But I didn't actually realize it until he was telling Riley to like go in and talk to Barrett and everyone about the band stuff. I'm like, oh, it's been building up to this. You clever guy, Jay. You're awesome. So
in a terrible kind of way.
Yeah.
Some more things that I had. The Parker kids have not always been in Odyssey, apparently. Because when Riley was talking to Olivia and she said she knew what it was like to come into a new place and have to make new friends.
They probably came after the hiatus. They heard that there was a shortage of kids because they were all
the other kids
killed,
died,
so they decided it would probably be safe for them there.
We're really bad people.
You were thinking it too. Okay.
Okay,
Everybody's dead.
Everyone you love is dead. Just like your dog. My dog's dead. Yeah, I ran over him driving in.
Okay. Okay. So Jay has way too much free time, and he sounds like he's far too over practiced with his eyeings. Which he does actually bring up later in the episode, so that makes a lot of sense when he's like doing the fake crying. So I didn't actually think the plying, is that what it is he's saying? Plying?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Does that mean
plying means to like manipulate. Like if you're plying something, like if you're plying clay, that means you're moving it and shaping it. So you're plying people to what you.
Okay. I didn't know what that meant. I thought it was something like prying or something.
Well, kind of, I guess. It's related.
I thought it was funny that the flying conversation with Olivia worked because after he started going, I honestly didn't think it
Yeah, I
would.
was impressed he was actually able to make it sound coherent with 4
Yeah,
phrases.
I was planning on seeing how far I could go into this review just by using those 4 sayings, but I forgot.
That would have been clever. See
if you'd notice.
see how long it takes me to notice.
Yeah.
I really like this. The fact that when Whit was talking to Riley about the things, I thought Whit was just me like, well, Jay's things are wrong. Here's some things we can do. Instead of just dismissing what Jay did, he actually took the things one by one and he flipped them around.
I love the way that he turned Jay's eyes around. I wrote that it was originally spying, crying, plying, and lying, and you changed it to listening, sharing, trusting, and caring.
Yes. He didn't even really change them so much as tweak them. I'm not sure so much how he changed the lying one.
Yeah. But there's no word for like truthing. That's not a word, so we can make it a word.
No, but I mean, all of them, he didn't turn them around so much as changed them just ever so slightly. But the lying thing, there's not really a way to change that slightly so that it's good. It's kind of just completely wrong.
So it's like lying to hurt others, and then he changes it to caring.
Yeah.
So you don't hurt others.
Well, yeah, but it's not really tweaking the same thing, but in a different way. It's there's not a whole lot you can do with that. But what he did with what he did was really good, and I thought that was really clever.
I put something that I thought was interesting, and I didn't even think of until the second time I listened to the episode. I put, if Jay can cry on demand so easily, that means that we definitely know that the only reason he carries around the onion juice is for other people. You didn't think about that, did you?
No, I didn't, but I don't really question at all the fact that Jay carries around onion juice. I doubt he even does it solely for the purpose of making people cry.
Yeah, I know. He probably does it for animals, too. Anyway.
No, I mean, I'm sure he has a variety of purposes for which he carries around onion juice. That's just the kind of person that Jay is.
If he's hungry.
He probably wears like a trench coat that's just full of a bazillion pockets and different
I want to see this.
things.
I want to see artwork of him wearing a trench coat. Okay. So, once Jay was just like, oh yeah, this was a test. I want to see if you could figure out if I was lying and prying and spying and stuff on you, Riley, and you passed. I seriously thought Riley would be like, oh, okay, and then go upstairs and help Jay. And he didn't, and I couldn't be prouder.
That's good, yeah.
I
knew he was going to call him out on the fact that he was doing the lying bit right there about lying when you get called out on doing things. He didn't call it out explicitly, so to say, saying, like, this is what you said to do with the lying when you get caught. But in general, he did call him out on the whole thing. The ending, I really liked, like, with Riley deciding to go to Jay for...
I know, I so didn't see that coming.
It kind of made me think, the whole episode, it's not a perfect association, but I kind of had, thoughts towards changing Rodney and Mike Makes Right. And all things to all people, in terms of trying to get into a group of people and finding out about them and coming up with catchy little phrases to remember ways to get into their group, the same way he did with the JESUS with Seth Young. Made me think of that.
It made me happy when Riley stood up to Jay and decided that he was going to do the right thing, even if it's still... he still didn't have friends if he did do that. I was just like, oh my gosh, this kid is awesome. Make him in more episodes. He's awesome. Plus he sounds like Everett, and that's awesome.
The last thing that I had was, on a side note, I can't wait until we find out more about Jay's past, because we get all these little things, and it's starting to show that it's not just, random little quirky things about Jay. There is actually, like you said, the Elvis stuff, there's continuity. I really want to find out about his past, because it's been leading up to it, and I think it's not just a lot of quirky stuff, and it's not just the kind of typical sad stuff, but I think there is a really interesting, deep, emotional, tragic story there, and I really want to find out what it is.
His spirit stealing his apple juice or something.
like Barrett was the one who killed Jay's father or something like that. I don't know.
I felt bad for Jay when he said like he hides in his room and he goes and like looks at his Elvis collection because he doesn't think anyone can understand him. I'm just like, oh, I'll understand you, Jay. I need a hobby.
Did you have any other notes?
Yeah, a couple other. I seriously thought Riley was gonna get revenge, even though he already talked about all the listening and sharing and trusting and caring with Whit. I thought he was gonna go get revenge on Jay. I don't know why, but I honestly did. And then after I thought about it, I'm like, wait, no, that doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. And that
Unless
totally
he doesn't
doesn't
listen
fit
at
with
all.
what you would want to happen to Jay, so I don't know where that came from.
And so I love how Riley's finally going to be like one of the big positive influences on Jay. And you can tell that he's like really, really determined and he's not planning on giving up. And I really hope that he's in more episodes. And I think he'd be such a good friend for Jay / positive influence.
An interesting foil he shall be.
He already knows all of Jay's little manipulation tactics.
Yeah.
So he won't get fooled at all. So, I don't know about you, but do you think he's going to be in any more episodes?
Probably.
I
sure hope so.
Because they give him like a pretty big entry episode.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be in more. He might be, at the least, I'm sure he'll be mentioned in future episodes, and he'll probably get at least 1 or 2. I really hope, though, that he does become like at least a semi-regular person, at least in conjunction with Jay. And with, if this whole band thing goes anywhere, then he can join with his dulcimer rocking.
Electric dulcimer.
Yes!
Anyway, so final rating.
Okay, I will give this one a 4.5 because it had really good humor. It did have some continuity again. The lesson was really good. I really liked this one. Especially the thing I really loved the most was the way Whit took Jay's 4 things and flipped them around. Actually, it's funny because Whit said the 3, and then we get cutscene music and stuff. And I actually was going to pause it and come up with 4 ing things for the opposites, but I'm like, nah, I won't do that. And I hit play, and then Everett ended up saying them.
Yeah, I was trying to figure them out. First time I heard it, I'm like, what are they? And I was like trying to figure them out in my head. But I just let the episode keep on playing, and I was so glad that they actually said what was going on instead of that verse, which Olivia never got to say about Barrett. But I digress.
I should clarify that when I said Everett there, I was talking about Riley. I did say Everett on purpose, so it wasn't an accident. Don't call me out in the comments. It was purposeful.
Leave comment, by the way.
Yeah, leave comments. Your rating.
I think I'm gonna give it. Oh, the scare face you're making. What are you doing to the camera?
I can't even see what it looks like on the camera right now because I have the sticky notes with all of my notes in front of it, so I have no idea what I've looked like for this whole episode.
I could see it, and it was terrifying.
Good.
So, I think that I'm gonna give it a 4.5 also. Because, yeah, I really liked the episode, but I can't remember what I was giving it a 4.5.
Careful of the mic.
Yep, sorry. I don't know. I really enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as Groundhog J. I think I'll probably enjoy it next. Like, if I listen to it a third time, I'll probably enjoy it more. So I'll give it like a 4.75 or whatever. Because, yeah, definitely my favorite thing was probably how Whit did well, you already talked about it. So Whit's little turnaround of the thing. Also, we could find out more about Jay.
Whit's flip.
Whit's flip flop.
No, Whit's flip. It's yeah, that's what it's called.
Whit's flip, the opposite of Whit's flop.
Yeah, that was the joke.
I know.
Yeah.
For those of the people that didn't notice it, the ones that started at album 5.
Oh yeah, those guys.
Yeah, those guys.
Those guys.
Those guys. Anyway.
Those guys.
Settle down, Yami. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed Riley's character a lot more than I thought I would. Because when he first came in, I was thinking, like, oh boy, another character that's after hiatus kid. Yay. And then, like,
so enthusiastic.
And then I
so
heard him like,
optimistic.
wait a second, it's Everett. Oh my gosh. But now I know it's not Everett.
But who cares?
Who cares? He still sounds like Everett.
Yeah.
And he was actually really good, and I think he'll be a really good friend for Jay. And please focus, let him be in more episodes, because he's such a good character.
All right, we only have a couple minutes left, so what is your numerical rating, Victoria?
I already said it.
What was it again?
4.75.
Okay. So, that concludes our review of episodes 729 and 730.
And they were good.
Yes, so thank you for staying with us. Next week, we are going to have another new series of episodes starting. This will be probably... I was going to say, it'll probably be a short one, but that's what I say every time, so I'm not going to say that this time. This series is going to be called If. And basically what it is...
called What If?
No, just If.
I created the series.
Yeah, but I title the videos.
Oh, yeah.
It is going to be called If, and the idea is we're looking at what could have happened in Odyssey if certain situations had gone other ways. So, next episode, episode 9, is going to be If number 1, what if Whit had died in World War II? Wait a minute. No, that is the wrong... That's not the episode that I wanted to put there in the schedule.
Figure out what it is.
You know what? I said it, and I won't spoil the other one, so we're going to put that there, and then after the next review, we can do the other one. So...
Now I don't even know what it is.
I'll tell you after I stop recording.
Curious.
So yes, next week is going to be what if Whit died in World War II? What would have happened to the rest of the world, namely Odyssey, and the surrounding area, and the people, and the government, and all of those types of things.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Was Operation Dig Out in Montague's Point after or before World War II?
It's part of World War II.
Oh.
When I say if Whit died, I'm talking about the end of Manatugo Point.
So when, like, the bomb went into the water?
Yeah, a second. Okay. I'm just finishing recording. I'll just be like 2 minutes.
Oh, do you want me to leave?
If you just don't talk, that's fine. I'll just be a minute. That's my roommate, Sean, everybody. Say hello,
Hi,
YouTube.
Sean. Hello. You can't hear me.
Okay. Nope. My sister says hi.
Huh.
So, yes, so that'll be episode 9, and then episode 10 will obviously be our reviews of episodes 731 and 732, More Than a Feeling, and Repent After Me. And I think that's all that we have for you.
Indeed.
So, thank you for joining us on our side of the YouTube. I have been Devin, and I'm still currently Devin.
Almost Victoria.
And you've been joining us for the Adventures in Odyssey Oddcast. Yeah, this isn't gonna work.
All the endings.
This isn't gonna work over Skype. Next time you can try saying it before I start saying it, and then it'll work.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I end it.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Bye.